Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Kopi with Wawan, or Wawan TV right now.
Wawan TV.
Wawan TV. So here I have with me today, Mr.
Dane Othman, aka Dino.
Yo, what up, Dane? How are
good,
you, bro?
All good.
All good, yeah?
How are you?
Good. Thank you, bro, for being my second co-host.
Oh my God, I'm flattered.
Yes, or whatever, right? Like, yeah, you should be. You should be one of the very few.
I am honored to be here, Mr. Wawan.
Thanks, man. Thank you. All right, so today, bro,
Yeah.
we're gonna be discussing Avengers Endgame.
Avengers.
Endgame. That's right. So we're just two Malaysian blokes discussing and giving our review.
Okay.
Blokes lah. Okay,
Sure.
does that
okay,
sound
okay.
off? Kena two Malaysian mamas.
I mean, it's more Australian, but okay, fine.
Boleh. Okay. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna start off with that, right? So
Yeah.
the very first thing is that, guys, if you are watching this, there will be spoilers. So please, macam be smart lah. Duh. So just go away if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want any spoilers. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, bro, we've both seen the movie.
Yep.
What was the build up towards? Do you remember when you saw it? Apa semua, the moment leading up to it. Were you excited?
Of course, man. Well, I was already excited when I watched Endgame. Yeah. And the minute the Endgame ended, sorry, the Infinity War. Sorry.
Right.
The minute Infinity War finished, I was already excited to see the next movie. I can't wait. I wanted it to come out next week, that kind of thing. So I was like, okay, let's do this. So once the first trailer dropped, I kind of watched it, and then after that, I think both of us kind of promised ourselves, okay, you know what? Let's not spoil anything. Let's not watch any other trailers.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's just go in it and just watch it for what it is, because we don't want to be, although the movie is 3 hours long, I don't want to be seeing any kind of spoiler just through the trailers themselves.
Yeah.
So we kind of did that and said, tried our best.
Yeah.
I unfortunately managed to escape all the trailers until I saw Captain Marvel, all the trailers before the movie.
Yes.
Oh crap! So I was like, ugh.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I basically closed my eyes and my ears. I heard everything, but because I didn't see anything visually, I don't remember anything lah.
Yeah.
So macam it was quite cool lah.
Yeah.
Dapat ni. No. But I don't think it was just avoiding spoilers kan. Macam I think what I meant when you talk about Infinity War, aku ingat that what I got excited, or what I felt like I wish I didn't see, was the Wakandan fight scene. It wasn't a spoiler, but I just remember being so blown away when I saw that scene. I'm like, I just wish that it was the first time. I saw it was in the cinemas without that.
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean.
Kan, exactly. There's all that. So were you always a Marvel fan? Would you say you're a comic book fan then?
I'm not really. I mean, I'm gonna sound like it's like this. I've always loved the storylines, but I've never read the comic books per se, because I was never given the opportunity to say. When I was a kid, when my parents didn't let me, or whatever it is, right? But I've always been fan of the storylines or fantasy and comics in general. So yeah, I kind of know or read about some of these storylines. I know a lot about I would say a lot, but I know about the Infinity War story in the comic books itself.
You're
So
familiar
to
lah.
see, I'm familiar with that.
Okay,
To see it flash out on the big screen, as they say.
Right.
Was really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I think
Were you a comic book fan? Or
Mm.
comic book reader?
I was a fan. I read as much as I could have had my hands on lah.
Yeah.
So I read more the Spider-Man comics. Honestly, the Avengers punya stuff like Iron Man, Cap, and all those things was introduced a lot to me during the MCU punya phase.
Right.
So I was always a fan. Even when superhero films came out, I remember liking the genre, but not necessarily the films that were produced. Because I remember that they were not that great lah. You had to like them because there wasn't much of a choice.
Like the 90s comic book fans.
Yes.
Comic book movies.
Yes.
I.e. all the Batman movies in the 90s.
It's okay. The Batman movies are good though. The Batman movies I enjoyed personally. Really?
For the time, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For the time, yeah. But even then, I was like, it's alright.
It was alright, eh? Okay, no, I enjoyed them though. But I think okay, so would you say that it's fair to say that Endgame, I can't say that Endgame changed the ball though, because I felt like the genre has changed the past 10 years though. But Endgame, I felt like it really took it to another level lah.
How?
You could start out with the plot for
Yeah,
one.
okay.
What I really like about the whole thing was, of course, because it took 21 films before it to kind of like set the whole plot of
Yeah.
Endgame. You know, Cham,
Yeah.
I think that all these people who's complaining that they didn't quite understand Endgame and all that, I'm like, dude, that's like you watching Game of Thrones at season 3 and saying that I don't understand what's going on. You know, when like there was season 1 for a reason, because all this is leading up, and you know. So I felt that the plot was one of it, that the whole setup was amazing. So when the movie started out, you kind of already know the characters, you kind of already know what was going on. Like you mentioned Infinity War, right? Yeah. So that was one way that I thought was just really amazing how they went into that lah. I don't know, what were your thoughts when you came in and
For me,
they just opened up the movie with the whole Thanos snapping the finger?
For me, Endgame was, I would say, a different Avengers movie. Like the previous Avengers movie, pretty much most of it is all action based, but not much drama. And there are good storylines in all of them, of course. But like the drama bit is not as played out, or is not much used compared to in Endgame. Endgame is more of the finishing up the storylines and closing the storylines, and there's a lot more drama than action compared to the previous Avengers movie. When you look at Endgame, the amount of mind-blowing action sequences that's in there, and you look at Infinity War.
Infinity War,
all the mind-blowing action sequences that's in there, and you look at Endgame.
Right.
And it's a bit more somewhat mellow, because they want to close the whole
the whole chapter, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think macam Infinity War was really the whole build up of the Infinity Stones coming in.
Yep.
And the title was exactly that. It was like
Yep.
it was almost like a war film where it was very action based.
Yep.
And everything was just happening. And I suppose you're right, Endgame showed the after effect of the last film, of Thanos snapping the finger, killing half of like all living creatures or life in the universe, right? And I felt like, especially with, they went into that, they introduced Ant-Man in the Avengers.
I didn't expect Ant-Man to play such a important role in Endgame, to be honest.
Right.
And credit to the Rat also.
The Rat.
You have to.
Yes, the Rat.
He's the real hero.
The Rat that, without Ant-Man, right?
I wish it was Luis, the Mexican guy in the Ant-Man
Oh yes,
movie. I wish it was him.
yes.
Right, but
It
the
would
Rat
be fun
is
to
still
watch.
funny.
The Rat
It was funny.
It
To me, it'll be.
How do you
funnier
like
than those.
apa nama mama tu? The Hangover dude tu?
Hangover dude?
The cameo.
Raccoon?
No, not the raccoon, man. The dude, the security guard. There's a Hangover guy. Did you die?
Oh
The cameo, right? It's like, so kudos to him too for being able to see and like letting Scott out, like Ant-Man out of the whole thing. Yeah, I really like how they played out Ant-Man in that one too, actually. Ant-Man was, I didn't expect, because when they said Ant-Man was gonna be in, I kind of figured it had to do with the whole quantum realm thing that they keep talking about in like his films. But how they tied that in with this one, and they brought in the time traveling aspect of an element, was that was gold lah. I thought and then they went into the whole time heist thing, and I really like exactly what you said, that the last film was very action oriented. Not to say this one wasn't, but they scaled it down, right?
Yeah,
they scaled it down.
Yeah.
But it was, the emotional impact was stronger, I felt,
Definitely.
with the time heist punya concept, and I enjoyed it. Like as a fan, and as somebody who's followed it since the first one, I felt like that was always how I wanted. Not necessarily how I wanted, but I guess how I felt superhero films could be that way. Macam it could really have like a bit more gravity lah. I mean, like explosions. The Transformers movies was.
Well, that's
like,
on the other side.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
explosions for no
Explosions,
good.
macam explosions.
Explosions without a point.
Yeah.
It was just, trying to, it's like the visual effects guy trying to show off their portfolio, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
The best one they can do.
Exactly. I always felt that superhero films or action films deserve more than just action.
There should be a lot more story built into it. Like, not just pure, just action or just corniness and campiness.
And just kind of go
That was why I didn't like the 90s. It was for the time, like the 90s Batman films. It was for
It
what
was-
that
I don't know. I
time.
probably have to rewatch
You know.
it and
Yeah, you got 2 hours of George
Yeah.
Clooney moving like this.
yeah,
Yeah?
yeah,
As
exactly,
Batman.
exactly,
So-
exactly. So you would have Well, look, the George Clooney Batman was horrible. That was horrible. So you can't really go. You can't really
Everybody
go.
freeze.
Yeah. Okay, so what? Aduh.
Okay. Back to Avengers.
Back
and
to
superhero
Avengers and superhero films, right? So we're gonna go into the whole ensemble bit lah of
Sure.
Endgame. You know, I really like how, if you ask me, one of the things that Marvel did really well, not just with Endgame, but with the MCU in general, is how they've changed up the Hollywood formula of storytelling. And I felt that it's really nice how it's no longer that old Stallone or Schwarzenegger punya one man save the world, the Steven Seagal. Yes, yes, you know what I mean,
The
right?
leading actor.
Yeah, you got one
I mean,
guy.
They have 2 main leading actors,
They
Iron Man
do.
and Captain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get your point. It's not like one single guy to save the day.
Save the day. That-
and to save the universe.
Exactly. So I felt like they
'Cause-
had
Yeah.
they had every character played something a
Yeah.
significant role, right?
Yeah, like, Ant-Man and the Rat.
Bro, you gotta let the rat go. Though.
Hey, he's important.
You gotta let-
He's important.
He is.
If you know the
but
name of the rat, let us know. But I want to know actually.
That
what is
is
the name of the rat?
interesting. I don't think the rat has a name, but okay,
Yeah, should name
okay. Sure.
So you had Ant-Man doing his thing, figuring out the whole time heist thing, and then
right, yes. Without Ant-Man, they wouldn't have had a shot. Actually, the
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
plot wouldn't have moved. Yeah.
It would have
okay.
just been like
They
Cap
just-
would have just moved on.
Move on, right?
Yeah.
Like Tony would have stayed with the family. Cap would have just been going in and out of like group therapy. It's like he'll just be telling everybody else like we gotta move on.
Yeah.
And like he's still going home and like crying his heart out.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And then
yeah.
Thor would be fatter.
Oh shit!
I love that.
I was gonna say, how
I
do you
love
feel about
that.
Like, how do you fat Thor,
that.
though?
I love the
know
fat Thor.
Some people hated it, man.
I don't know why though. But why?
I don't
It's
know. I don't know. I felt-
it makes sense. I mean, the guy lost his
depressed.
family.
Exactly.
Lost his
Exactly.
girlfriend because Jane dumped him.
Yeah. Can you imagine being the god of thunder and
Yeah.
you got dumped?
Yeah, and you lost your powers.
Yes.
Kind of gained it back.
Yeah.
And then got
Yeah.
strained on the planet.
Exactly.
I kind of mixed up the order, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah. And he has nothing to
course
live
he's
for
depressed.
now. There's like
Exactly.
yeah. It's just
So
he's fat.
Just sat there playing Xbox with Korg and
Noob Master 69.
that was awesome. And just, because he just lost everything. Naturally, when somebody goes to that catharsis, and when he goes to that time heist or time travel thingy, I love seeing the vulnerability when he met his mom.
Yeah,
That showed.
Yeah,
that's
that
a
that
lot
was
of-
that was powerful.
That's a lot.
That
That's
was powerful.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, somebody brought this up. Right? I thought it's interesting that Marvel likes to play around with daddy/mommy issues, and I kind of think it makes sense because that's
Okay.
what makes
'Cause
that.
everybody has daddy.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that, right? Everybody has those issues, so that's why I feel like the relatability worked. Like,
Yeah, true.
honestly, the first
True.
2 Thor films didn't work that well for me. Like the first one, I felt
dare
had-
you.
no. Look, let me rephrase that. Right? I felt like the first one had potential, but it didn't hit the mark that they were trying to hit, and I felt really that the whole phase one
I
had
disagree.
issues.
I love the Thor movies.
You love the Thor films.
Okay,
I
the
love-
first one lah. Okay, the first one I love it. Second one was kind of meh. The third one was absolutely
Yeah, the
brilliant.
third one was amazing. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say the third one. I really like how they've managed to kind of
Turn
bring
it
this-
around basically.
Exactly. I thought it makes sense because they never established Thor as a smart character. You know what I mean? Right? Some people got upset that they say that they just made him dumb out of nowhere, but they never established him being smart.
Yeah.
I think they've also the only establishment was that he was this macho dude.
Yep.
That was the only thing that they've established. Right? He's this macho Viking, whatever, God of Thunder guy. And then when they made him a bit more funny, I felt like that was character growth. That he didn't take himself too seriously anymore. And I thought
Yep.
that was that build up, right? Macam
Yep.
every movie it ended with him like, yeah, I shouldn't take myself too seriously. And with Endgame, they kind
Yeah.
of like.
I think the Endgame it pretty much closed it off because the first 3 movies, at the end he was like, I can't live up to my who I'm supposed to be.
Yes.
So I should just be myself.
Yeah.
But
And
this next
passing on,
movie, he tries to be the same again. So yeah. So anyways, speaking of
No worries.
ensemble,
Yeah.
then you have Captain Marvel.
Oh. Man, let's not. I can feel the feminists are gonna come after me if I start voicing out my opinion on this.
Yeah.
How did you find Captain Marvel?
Well, okay. Well, the thing is, in the comic books, Captain Marvel has always been like pretty much the female
Superman, right?
Superwoman
Yes.
in
The Marvel universe, yeah.
universe. She has crazy powers and all that.
Yeah.
When Captain Marvel movie came out, I was not really impressed because I didn't see the badassery of
Badassery.
of
What,
Brie
the
Larson
character?
of the
Yeah.
character. It was just kind of flat.
Yeah.
Kind of fell flat. And
I don't think I have any issues with the character, Captain Marvel.
yeah.
I felt like I liked the way Brie Larson looked when the set photos came out, and I thought that she looked legit until I saw her and she started speaking. Like, and then I was just like, oh my god, that personally it killed it for me. You know, I just
Yeah.
didn't think she was convincing. Her line deliveries were bad. And even with Endgame, the first time I saw it,
It was just not impressed.
It wasn't. Yeah,
she
yeah,
just
yeah.
showed up.
She showed up, right? So I don't think I think she was the only one in the whole cast in Endgame that I felt a bit off.
Yeah.
But because okay, so
I think Captain Marvel movie could have come out earlier so they can build the story.
I think so.
Maybe even
Yeah,
Captain Marvel 2
Yes.
as a filler movie
Yeah.
before, so that they can develop the story and the character a lot more. Going
Get to
into
know her a bit
Endgame,
better,
because
yeah.
when she went into Endgame,
It felt a bit shoehorned.
it was
It
like
kind of like just.
even in that final battle scene, yeah, I have a funny point about this, but never mind. In the final battle scene when they had the whole all women cast and everyone
I like
defending
that,
her. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. I
yeah,
really
yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Right. But when I see her as holding the, you're like,
The gauntlet, yeah.
Tak bad lah.
I know, because I love
it would
all.
have been what's her name, Okoye, or even Wasp holding it. I would have
yeah,
been,
yeah,
I would
yeah.
have
Valkyrie,
loved that.
man.
Or Valkyrie,
Valkyrie.
holding it. That would be
My
even
number
more
one
awesome.
Marvel girl is Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I have a huge crush on like Valkyrie and Tessa Thompson, bro. And it's like halal superhero too. So macam like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, you know, she doesn't have to be
Sure.
like sexualized to be sexy. I really like that. Aku macam tengok, I'm like, yep, like, yeah, Marvel, you're doing something right.
Yeah. And speaking of that scene, yeah,
Yeah.
or even in the whole battle scene, the battle thingy, what on earth does Mantis do? Like, seriously. I
But
mean, like,
she's like,
because you got like
I-
Wasp who can basically kick ass. You got Valkyrie. You got Captain Marvel because she's
Sure.
all powerful.
Sure.
You have the one from Black Panther.
okay, Okoye,
Okoye,
Shuri,
right? And Shuri.
shooting and
They're
like
awesome.
spear.
Right?
Right,
And
right.
then you have Mantis. It's like,
Sleep.
sleep. Everybody sleep.
The thing is, she has to go up close to them too, right? To do that.
For me, like, when I watched that and I saw Mantis there trying to look, you know,
Yeah.
all tough and stuff. I'm like, what can you do?
I guess so.
It's just funny.
So that's one of those characters that you're just wondering what she's up to. And yeah, I suppose so. You're right, She played. It's questionable.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
questionable.
I'm nitpicking obviously
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
but yeah, it was just so funny, especially in that battle
Yes,
scene. It was just hilarious.
Yes,
Like, what's she doing there?
Exactly. So what would you say be your favorite character in Endgame or in the MCU as like a whole then?
In Endgame itself, I would say Thor. In
Endgame, eh?
Yeah, in Endgame itself,
Specific-
I would say
okay,
Thor.
okay,
Yeah.
Thor.
If like the whole MCU, it would be either Iron Man or Thor.
I see.
One
okay.
of the two.
Okay.
Well, because Thor in Endgame, you could see the whole journey that he went, right? And there's a funny video of Chris Hemsworth doing a 30-second review of all the Thor movies up to
Okay,
and the
okay.
Avengers movies.
I don't think I saw that
You
one.
should see it.
Yeah?
It's hilarious.
Yeah? Okay.
And
okay,
you can
okay,
see
okay,
even
okay.
in that joking 30-second manner, you can see the Thor character kind of develop and
Sure,
the kind of
sure.
catharsis or the catastrophes that
The-
he
the
went
whole-
through.
the whole
You know,
journey
his
of the-
family,
Right.
is saving Earth and
Earth,
all that stuff.
losing all
Losing
those
the whole his whole
Mm,
planet,
mm,
his
mm,
family, etc. So yeah, I would say for Endgame itself, probably Thor. And to see him fat again, for me, it was a win. I love it. Like I said,
That was funny
I
though.
love it.
It was probably a fat suit though. I don't think Hemsworth actually put on those weight.
You
because,
think?
Like,
Oh,
it's a
no.
fat suit.
Dude.
Right? It's definitely a fat suit. I think so. You know, if it was for me, I would say Thor have definitely ranked climbed up in terms of my favorite character. For I think the very same reasons that you said, that you know the fact that he suffered like loss and pain and all those in his journey. I felt it's relatable. It's really
Yeah, yeah,
relatable, you know.
yeah.
I think if I were to say Iron Man, it's just too easy. I can't say Iron Man is a favorite because he's sort of like everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
You know, actually, Iron Man, I can't really say that. If somebody were to say to me, macam, oh, Iron Man's my favorite MCU, I'm like, yeah, but everybody else love him too.
For me,
There's no- yeah.
because RDJ made the character work.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
that's why I love Iron Man, and his suits are just cool.
Yes,
I just
yes,
love it.
yes, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
for
no,
me.
but I think for me, Thor definitely comes in second. It's
Black
still-
Panther.
No,
Then
it's Cap.
Cap.
Cap, man.
You're-
I'm serious. I'm still serious. Okay, look, here's the thing. Black Panther is definitely one of my favorite tau. But
We're
there's
about to have a civil
no,
war
no,
right
no.
now.
That's the reason why I love Cap. I think as a character, okay, there's two things that he stands for, he fights for though. And it sounds so
Okay.
corny, and I'm so corny because of this kind of stuff. But I felt that the thing that he has been fighting for his whole life is basically, aside from peace, because that's what all of them are doing, it's love and friendship. And I felt like he has lost so much in his life and has gone through, not that it's a personal
Not at
reflection
all.
of me in any way, but I just find that relatable. That the whole, like, he has lost so much and he has
Sure.
to, like, that's not what I'm saying. This is not like a therapy session. But no, it's true. And I felt that for me that's very human, that he has gone through all that. And a lot of people don't like his giddy optimism, but I think Tony
like
Stark.
that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Tony Stark himself has made fun, and he made fun
Yeah.
of his optimism.
and their character, their interaction
Was nice.
especially
Oh, man.
from
The first
from
Avengers.
First Avengers. Not even. No, I think the first Avengers kind of teased a bit, but it really ramped up from
Yes,
Civil War,
yes.
Endgame, Infinity War, and
Endgame. They
It
did
was
a
really
fantastic
good.
job,
Yeah.
right? When the first Avengers came out, I was a bit skeptical on how all these big characters were gonna interact with one another,
Yeah.
because at that time, I think I was so used to that Hollywood formula
Hmm.
of one man saving the world, and they went with that with the Phase One, if you remember, right? Every single film, even with the first Captain America, I didn't quite enjoy it because it was still just him being the hero.
Yeah.
He had a team, but his team was really more of a backdrop guys, right? They didn't
You
play.
can't even remember the team.
Exactly, you don't even remember them. You remember Bucky, but even his role was it's not that big, like, didn't
Yeah.
play, it was just, he's the best friend. He was just, that's it, You don't even remember the team from the Howling Commando. So when they did that first Avengers, and it came out amazing, I was blown away. I remember thinking like, oh my god, how the heck did this work? How did they have all these major characters and apa semua coming together, just pulling it off, right? And even with Infinity War, how they pull off Guardians and Thor interaction, going back to your favorite,
Yeah,
that was nice though.
that was awesome.
That was awesome, right? Character.
Sweet rabbit. That was awesome.
Oh no. I think Thor calling
raccoon.
Raccoon. Sweet Rabbit was funny though, but I heard that the other Asgardians called Rocket a rabbit too though.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just like,
I
yeah,
guess
the
in Asgard
Asgardians.
they only had rabbits. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have a raccoon, right? Yeah. That probably happens in the whole knee. No, but I didn't know how that pairing worked, but it did. It really did. The whole.
In terms of interaction, because you have a plethora of characters in Avengers,
yeah,
right?
man. Yeah.
But the interactions are very well balanced.
Mm.
It's not so obviously you have your lead characters and you have your lead storylines. You
Of course.
to focus on that, but
yes.
like everything else is still well balanced. It's not.
It was
You
really
there
well
was
balanced, yeah.
nothing out of place. Everything was like had its role. So it was good. It was
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
in the comedic, Lebowski, even all those comedic one-liners was just hilarious. It was on point.
Yes.
It was awesome.
No, I agree with you. Macam, it's just really nice how all that came together. I think they've left a lot of room for everything else to grow after this. I think they've wrapped up really nicely, especially the six Avengers, the six main Avengers in Endgame. Guys, if you've watched this far, obviously we've spoiled a few things already, so we're gonna go into deeper spoilers, right? I thought killing off Iron Man was nice. I really didn't expect that. I mean, on one hand,
Really?
okay, on one hand, I know that they've always wanted to either kill off Cap or Iron Man.
Yeah.
I always thought that it would be nice if you killed Cap off. Mainly because I'm a Cap fan, and I thought that he should die in the battle because that's what he wanted.
Right.
But
yeah,
then
yeah.
when they kind of turn it around, that it kind of makes sense and it was nicer. That
It was much nicer.
Exactly, right? Because
It
Iron
came-
Man started out as a selfish one.
It came full circle.
Yes.
Just like you said, Iron Man came out first as the selfish guy.
Yes.
But at the end of
He
pretty
made
much
the
all
ultimate
the
sacrifice.
Avengers movie, he's
Yeah.
the savior.
Right, yeah.
And then Cap seems to be the one that is
Who's always willing to
always
sacrifice.
willing,
Yeah.
and he's actually the experiment.
Right, right.
You know, he's the experiment gone right. And,
Right, yes,
with
yes,
nothing
yes,
really
yes, yes.
special about him.
Yep,
But then he's
yep.
the only one to be lifting Thor's hammer.
I was gonna say that. How
Yeah.
did you react
That
to that
was
scene?
awesome. That was awesome. I mean, it was kind of, to be honest, it was kind of played down for me because Vision already lifted it before that.
Okay,
So it was not as like
No,
a
but it was
mind-blowing
still,
impact,
but
but still,
yeah.
there's that caveat. Yeah, Vision is a machine technically. But
No, but Vision is the one with the Soul Stone. No, not the Soul Stone. Was it the Mind
Mind
Stone?
Stone.
The Mind Stone.
Yeah.
Yes, he was the one with the Mind Stone. Yeah. So he has an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, so, but-
he was
but-
made by an Infinity Stone.
yeah,
Like,
but
so
by that time, when Cap lifted the
lifted
hammer,
hammer,
I'm like, oh, okay, it was awesome to see him wield his shield and hammer at the same time.
that was I
love
love
that.
I love that.
And
moment.
in the interaction with Thor and Cap, you know, you take the smaller one.
Yeah, that was
was
funny. I
awesome.
love that one.
I love that line.
You know, I love that was it was a parallel to the Infinity War punya ni. I
Yeah.
see you've copied my beard. It's just like,
Yeah,
it was like,
exactly.
oh, yeah, the new haircut
That is
thing.
awesome.
Yeah, the interaction was really nice though. No, you know what I really like about the whole Cap wielding the hammer was actually, I know some people will say it's an unfair comparison, but I think it is fair because it's two superhero genres. You know, the Justice League as opposed to when Justice League when Superman shows up. You never
Yeah.
saw it. You didn't watch Justice League, did you?
No.
You heard too
To
many
be
bad
honest,
reviews.
it was I kind of gave
Okay.
up on DC
Okay.
movies a long time
Yeah.
because it was just not
So,
impressive.
so what happened with Justice League is that the whole movie was built up on like these 4 or 5 superheroes.
Spoiler
talking
alert.
About, spoiler alert, guys. Seriously, man. Like, it came out years ago. It's not my fault if you haven't seen it. So, you know, it's like 4 or 5. Sorry. No.
Keep going, keep going.
So 4 or 5 of them throughout the movie figuring out how they're going to save the world from like this big baddie, Steppenwolf or whatever.
Steppenwho?
It's another CGI character.
I know.
Yeah, so Thanos gone wrong lah. Didn't do well. That's the best description I can give, you know.
Okay.
So then they had that. But the minute Superman shows up on screen, the day is saved. So it goes back to that Hollywood formula, one man saves the world thing. As
Right.
opposed to that Cap with the hammer scene, you're happy as a Cap fan. I'm like, whoa, that's so awesome. But why I like him as a character? Because he still struggled. It wasn't
Yeah.
like now I have the hammer, I'm gonna save the day. You know, it was just like, yep, this is helpful. I can go. You know, it's a fair
Yeah.
fight between me and Thanos.
Yeah, even if he killed Thanos at that point, you still had his Black Order was still there, right? His children.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
the children were still there.
was still there,
He would
and
still have
the
to
rest
fight
of
off
the
a whole
army.
army.
Yeah,
Yeah, he would
exactly,
still have
was
to fight
still there.
off
So,
a whole army.
Like,
yeah.
so what? You have a hammer.
Exactly.
You have an army.
Exactly. It's true. It's true. And I thought that scene with the rest of the Avengers coming in, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god. Like, oh.
That was awesome.
Like he finally get to say it.
Yeah.
Assemble.
I think they saved that moment, that line. I
Yes.
think all the fans have been wanting
Yes.
Captain to say that for a long,
Long
time,
time,
but they
yeah,
saved
yeah.
it for the right moment.
Yeah,
man.
they did.
They waited 20 movies.
They did.
But it was
22,
good.
The 22nd movie.
Yeah, it was
finally,
good.
right?
It
They
was
were
good.
like, so.
One thing though, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
One thing though.
No worries.
Yeah. We had this whole great battle scene, and you had one of the most powerful Avengers there, which is Doctor Strange,
Oh, I
the
knew.
sorcerer. What was his name? The sorcerer emperor, whatever.
The sorcerer, yeah,
Sorcerer
yeah,
Supreme.
Supreme,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Right? And what does he do? Hold water.
The flood.
Just hold the water.
Hey, it's important.
I know it's important, but doesn't he
Yeah,
have all
to
the
contain
other
that.
sorcerers to do it? Like, hello,
It's
task
funny
management.
because that's the one time that you could actually get
Hold
Wong
water.
to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which I was like, yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Hey, come on! You hold water. That's it.
He is one of the most powerful
And then you
Avenger.
just did
yeah.
this, and then
Yeah,
that's it.
That was
Come
it.
on.
That was it. No,
But
no,
for
no.
me though, before the movie, I knew it was either Captain or Iron Man
Iron
gonna
Man,
die.
right? Yeah.
I knew it when Doctor Strange said,
Oh, if I told you,
"If I told you,
it will not happen.
It will not
Yeah,
happen."
yeah,
I
yes,
knew
yes.
that. Okay, at that point, I know. Okay,
gonna be
Tony
Tony.
Stark gonna die.
Right.
But I didn't expect Captain to go that his storyline going back
Okay.
in time and then stayed. It was a bit weird for me, but
Really?
okay, fine, I get it.
Really, yeah?
It's
Okay.
you know
okay.
it didn't really fit that, but to me,
Right,
but
right,
okay,
right.
understood.
Yeah,
They need
yeah,
to
yeah.
close it off. So
I liked it. I'm sorry, man. But like, you know, the whole that was one thing I didn't expect when they added the time traveling element.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sort of spoiled it for me because it was a fan theory that Cap was gonna go back and live with Peggy. And I remember I liked that theory. I was thinking like, oh man, I hate now that this person has told me that this theory is gonna happen, because on one hand, if I watch it, I'm like, yeah, I kind of heard it already, but on the other hand, now if that's not what's gonna happen, I'll be a bit upset. And again, because I thought that it was an obvious thing if they had did the whole, if he had died, because there was just so many times he has said very much that this is his life, he's not gonna go anywhere, that he has said that, in Age of Ultron, I thought that was really sad, that because in Winter Soldier, as a character, there was a big question mark, what is he gonna do with his life? And I think Falcon said to him, you could do anything, there's nobody's gonna stop you. And in Age of Ultron, he said to Tony, oh, this is home. And I thought that was very sad, because he
kind of gave up.
There's not gonna be a normal life for him. And me being the sucker or the softie that I am, I thought it was really sweet that he went back to like his first love, man. Like he mentioned
Fair
it.
enough.
Look, he said that at the beginning of the film. Macam awal-awal when
to
he
have
said,
some sort
he
of
had
a
some
romance in there.
exactly, and it was done nicely, right? He said to the
enough.
support group, the whole what did he say? He was like, oh, I met the love of my life in.
But he said
whatever
to the
year.
support group, you gotta move on. But then he did it.
He did it.
Why not?
But that's very human. It's very human. It's very human. It is the most human thing to do, I feel. That you really just want to. I don't know. I mean, we've all been there. That's what I'm saying.
but
Relatability, And to be fair, the one that he can't move on from is not like some bad, toxic ex-girlfriend that most of us find ourselves in. Or boyfriends or whatever. Like,
Sure.
no. Okay, please don't give me that look. But this is Peggy Carter.
This is starting to sound like a therapy session.
No,
for you.
it's not a therapy session. But what I'm saying is that Peggy is like a good match. The only thing I will admit is that it's a bit weird that he made out with Peggy's niece lah. I know it's an alternate timeline thing. That niece never happened in that timeline, but still, that's the only thing I'll admit when all these people are coming in and shooting the whole Cap ending to me. I'm like, you know what? I can't defend that. You're right. That is weird. That is very weird that he made out with with Peggy's niece. Everything though. Yeah, but those are obviously the two main Avengers, right? That they've wrapped up. But if you were to do in Thor, how they wrapped up the whole
I mean,
thing.
it's good for me. His story was how it ended and how it opened up.
It opened
the
up
next
possibilities
for the
Yes,
future.
yes,
And
yes, yes.
I would love to see him in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but we'll see when that movie comes out.
Right?
Uh,
How do you like Professor Hulk though? I mean,
Professor-
Yeah,
Professor Hulk.
it was good. I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that
that.
at all. I thought that they're gonna somehow console it. Banner and the Hulk was gonna console somehow, like.
I thought so. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I didn't see a
But,
Professor
like,
Hulk arc.
I didn't see that at all.
I think I was
It was
as surprised
funny.
as Ant-Man. I was just, when Ant-Man was like, I'm confused. I think that me and the rest of us in the audience were also like, yeah, we're kind of confused too.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought that humor, right? Oh, these are confusing times. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He had that weird Italian
kinda-
accent.
Yeah, it's like because Banner is a smart guy, but it mixed with the Hulk, he kind of sounds a bit dumber.
Dumber, right? Exactly,
sounds
exactly. Yeah. Best of both worlds. I was like, what? It's like Banner doesn't talk like this.
Exactly.
But yeah, the mix
so
of the two.
funny.
The mix of the two. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it at all.
Hulk. Oh my god. It goes back to that. How did you? I don't know. I felt Hawkeye had a good. I wouldn't.
Story.
It had a good story.
Yeah.
Macam for the
That
longest
in
time.
itself, can be a movie when you think about it.
True. It's true. It's true.
How
it's true.
Hawkeye suddenly just lost his family and then went and become
Ronin,
Ronin
right?
and
Yeah.
killed everyone and did what he did.
Honestly, because so I felt like Endgame was super satisfying. I felt like everything that happened in it, which are from Cap or Iron Man, I didn't feel like with most of them, I don't need to see more.
Yeah.
But if there was one, it would just be the Ronin in your storyline. That was the only one that I felt.
True.
I feel that if they were to extend that arc, would be interesting to watch because you don't see much of Hawkeye anyways now. So what I feel Marvel has done really well, even with Infinity War and all these things, if fans would tell me things like, oh, they should show the years that Cap was in exile. I'm like, no, we don't have to see that, because it was already heavily implied, and some things you don't have to spell it out for you to kind of like, look, he had a few rough years. Let's leave it at that, right? But the Ronin, I think that's worthwhile seeing, lah. And then especially the Budapest reference with Black Widow.
That's one thing. Like they've never been to space, and then suddenly they know how to fly spaceships. Again, I'm nitpicking, but
Okay, yeah.
how come? Suddenly,
Okay, but how do you feel about Black Widow punya wrap up though?
I've never felt anything exciting or special about Black Widow as the
Yeah.
character, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's good. It's kind of poetic as well to see her go in that struggle with Hawkeye.
Yep,
At the end.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me, it was good. It was satisfying. It's a good closure, lah, basically.
I like it too. I think it's the same with you. Most of the movies, Black Widow, it's okay. You know, she's not the most interesting.
Most of the time, especially in the first few Marvel movies, she's more of the eye candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Than anything else. But
yeah. So I thought this one was nice. You know, you actually see a bit more of an inner struggle.
Yeah.
On her part, and you know, macam I love to go deeper into the other characters like Nebula, and yeah, you know, but yeah, we could touch on that, I guess, just a little bit, right? So I like how even Nebula had a small but very significant role. You know, that her external and internal struggle was real.
I was expecting for them to play because there's one storyline in the comic books where Nebula is actually the one that grabs the gauntlet.
Yes.
So I was actually hoping for that or kind of expecting that, but it didn't happen. But still, it was still a good how they developed Nebula's character was awesome.
Good. I really like that. I really like that though.
You know, the old one and the new one kind of battled and went into the current timeline.
Yes.
Awesome.
That was really awesome. I guess right now the main question for them is that, dude, where are they gonna go from here though?
Well, by now,
I think they've set the bar pretty darn high.
They
for
can
themselves.
Go wherever they want to. Like,
so what's like your final words, bro, in terms of Endgame? You know, what was if you had to say your favorite scene?
Ooh,
name one.
Ooh, favorite scene. The battle scene was pretty epic.
It was, right?
Obviously,
it was.
I mean, I'm sure that's
everybody's.
That's gonna be everyone's favorite. I know for sure.
For sure.
But what I really love, the point of the movie where it really picked up for me was when Thor came on, and I was so surprised to see a fat Thor.
Right. That was nice.
To me, that was, I don't think anybody saw this whole new Asgard thing.
Yes,
that was really nice.
Yes.
But to pick a favorite, that's really hard. How do you pick a favorite from a 3-hour movie?
That's true. You can't.
I hope there will be a director's cut and it'll be a 4-hour movie.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind. I
hope there'll be
like
a
whole Lord of the Rings.
So the Ronin story will be played out a bit more. The Captain Marvel movie storyline will be played out a bit more.
Yes,
you know.
There was
I hope that will be,
right?
but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see.
But yeah, to pick a favorite scene, it's either the battle scene or Thor.
The Thor scene.
Fat Thor.
Yeah.
Lebowski.
Lebowski, I love that too. I really like that too. Okay.
What's yours?
Oh, crap.
You can ask me and then
Okay. Alright. The battle scenes, of course. I think that's everybody's favorite scene.
Yeah.
The time heist episode. Going back to the softie that I am.
Sorry. One more thing. Hail Hydra.
Yes.
You see, I was so satisfied.
Yes.
If you don't know,
Hail Hydra.
If you don't know,
comic controversial.
Yeah, if you don't know, there's a big controversy a few years ago with comic books where they kind of teased that Captain America was
Hydra.
like a Hydra agent all the while.
Yeah. Fans were upset.
Chris Evans was upset. Everybody was upset. So they made it like an evil twin or something like that. So when that line was mentioned in Endgame, I was so excited. And then I looked at this guy. This guy didn't even react. I was like, okay, maybe he didn't get.
No, I got it.
He didn't get it. Okay,
fine. It was my second time watching.
And then, exactly. How can you ask someone, yo, let's watch it all together, bro? Right? It just came out or whatever. When it just came out, let's just watch it together.
To be fair, I didn't spoil anything to you. You didn't know that was my second time until we finished the movie. But like the first round, like, you know, in my defense, was a free ticket. I couldn't say no to a free ticket. And I wanted to protect myself from spoilers. I wasn't gonna spoil it for anybody else. Nobody knew. We went there with 2 other friends. They both didn't know. That I didn't, you know. So I spoiled nothing.
It was like
I played dumb all the way.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra was good.
I really did get it. One good scene as well. Yeah,
that's definitely one of my favorite scenes. That was definitely one of my favorite scenes as well. And like I said, you know, the softie that I am, it was a dance with Cap and Peggy.
The final scene.
Yeah, because I felt that everything wrapped up. No, listen. Yeah. Everything wrapped up, and last, it's just like, this is what matters. You know what I mean? Behind all the fancy superhero stuff, this is all that too lah. So
Yeah.
that's like, all right, okay, cool.
Relationships are important.
Yeah. We'll extend more on those points
On romance.
later on. Okay, so I think that's it. That's all the time that we have for today. All
right.
Okay, cool. So thank you, Dane, for being
No
on the
worries.
show. Any words to the people that are watching?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you want some more, please subscribe to the channel and we'll produce more.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
See ya.